Hey, welcome back to the fifth and final installment of Human and Organizational, or HOP, principles. Today, we are going to be talking about, that's right, principle number 5. Okay, this is the fifth principle in the stack of principles for HOP. Let me read this directly from the Department of Energy handbooks. Events can be avoided through an understanding of the reasons mistakes occur and application of the lessons learned from past events or errors. So, how does this apply? And I want to keep this theme of hop and horsemanship. Okay, so I'm inside today. I'm inside the office here in the studio. And today I want to talk to you about how we apply lessons learned in a horsemanship, or at least in my experience. I want to talk to you about how I have applied lessons learned from past, mostly mistakes or events. Okay, and so today I'm going to talk specifically about some of the tack I have used on my horses in the past and how I have made mistakes using the wrong tack and how I've had to apply those lessons. Okay, so first example I want to show you here is this bit I have. This is a really neat Western bit from a store in Reno, Nevada called D-Bar M. So it's a D-Bar M high port bit with a little roller or a cricket in it. Okay, this bit was given to me by a friend of mine I met about a year ago. He gave me this bit and told me, hey, don't be afraid to use it. So I have my 4-year-old horse Addie. You've seen her in some of the other videos, and we were going to go push some cows one day. Okay, so a friend of mine had some bulls that we needed to take up on the mountain and out into the desert, and we needed to drop them off with different groups of cows. Okay, so this was one of the first times I had Addie out in the open range, mostly doing high speed cow work. Okay. And I decided she had been in this bit a couple times just around the house. We'd gone for some trail rides and we had done some training rides on it. And she was really responsive to it. She really understood it. She was listening, but it was pretty low speed stuff. Okay. So we get out there, and at the speed we were having to go, she wasn't responding to it. Okay. She wasn't listening to it. She wasn't ready for the rest of the horsemanship that goes into using this bit, especially at high speeds, right? Because you start chasing a cow or a bull, and the adrenaline gets pumping for both you and your horse. And we're really getting into the moment. And when she's not listening to me, in order to correct her, I have to pull on an individual rein. This bit is not designed for you to be pulling on one side of the bit or the other. This is literally designed for you to hold the reins in one hand and just move the reins side to side. And that horse knows and understands, based on your body language, your body positioning, what you want out of them. If they're not listening, guess what? You, as a horseman, made a mistake. I made a major mistake that day and having her in that bit. So I had to take her back to this softer, milder bit. It's called a Myler's bit. Has a lot of flexion, a lot of moving parts, right? So if I do have to, she kind of it gets this transition of, yes, using one hand, but if she's not understanding fully what I want, I can reach down with the inside rein and I can pull her the direction I'm trying to tell her, right? I can reinforce the learning with her in this bit, and it doesn't pull in her mouth. It doesn't pinch her. It doesn't have that high port that's going to push up into the roof of her mouth if I use the bit wrong. Right. So this is a lesson I had to learn, right? I had to get out there. I had to go actually do something, and I made a mistake. I pushed my horse. I pushed myself too far, and I had to take that lesson. I had to back it up. So the next time I got a horse that was in a bit and they weren't responding to it. I had a horse recently come on my property that came to me in this bit, right? It's kind of like that Myler's bit that I had, and I showed you there. Look, it's got a lot of flexion in it. The sides move. Everything moves independently. So it's a real pretty soft bit. And mostly the horse is listening to this curb strap on the back. That's basically their jawline. And that's the pressure they respond to. Well, when the horse wasn't responding to this bit, I knew I needed to take him back. I needed to take him back to a more basic bit, right? Because their understanding of what to do with the bit and what to do with the reins was elementary, right? We needed to go back a step. So I put them in this snaffle bit. Okay, so this is just a very solid mouthpiece snaffle bit. Has a little cricket in it, there's rings. There's not a whole lot of in the mouth stuff going on here, right? This bit is designed to actually slide through the horse's mouth and signal with the cheek piece that, hey, I want you to go away from pressure. So I want you to go this way, right? And the horse can play with this mouth piece, this little cricket with their tongue. This was an example of me understanding that as a horseman, as a leader of my horse, I had made a mistake. I had pushed them too far. I had added too much technical expertise on them in the heat of the moment. I needed to step back. I needed to understand the mistakes I made, and I needed to correct them. And as you can see in this example, the first horse, it took me a little while to understand that lesson. And I learned it and I applied it quickly to the second horse and the second tack setup that I had been using. Now, how does this apply in the workplace? In the workplace, if we as leaders are not applying the lessons learned from past mistakes and errors, and when I say applying, I mean understanding why they happened, doing really good investigations into them, and understanding what were the error precursors, what were the organizational processes and weaknesses and latent conditions that led that person to make the error. When my horse goes out at high speed and is making errors and mistakes and responding to my ask, how did I set that horse up for failure? Well, then I need to recognize it. I need to embed that learning. When you people make mistakes, you have to embed that learning into your organization. You have to make the corrections. You have to implement corrective actions that make sense to the error, to the learning of the investigation, and then follow those up. Ensure that they're working properly. Use your continual feedback loops to verify if your people are responding, if the people are using the corrective actions that you asked for. If we are not embedding the learning in our organizations from our failures and our mistakes, we're failing our people. We're failing our organizations. We are failing our business owners. We have got to take the lessons we learned from past mistakes, embed them, apply them, and improve our organizations. If this is not a regular part of your business processes, then I am here to warn you and implore you, figure out a system so that you can embed learning into your organizations every single time you have an incident, every time your people make a mistake, or you have an accident. If you need help with any of this or would like to discuss this in further detail and how your organization can get really good at learning from its past mistakes and embedding those lessons learned, reach out to us at getthegrit.com. Getthegrit.com. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to introduce you to our Investigating Through a Hop Lens tool and training. It's a great 2 to 3 day training that really helps your investigators come from a hop mindset and really gives them tools to practically embed the learning and the lessons from past mistakes and events. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for following. If you've enjoyed these videos, please like the video. It helps us out a ton, gets more exposure. And secondly, if you could subscribe to this channel, we're going to be here regularly posting new content and really helping organizations understand how they can continue to improve with human and organizational processes, principles, and values.